Hi all and welcome to the fourth class. In this class, we are going to bring in our Datasmith file in Unreal Engine and check for any artifacts. But first, let's delete what we don't need. Now we only have things that we need inside our scene. Click on Datasmith up top and select the file. I will create a new folder for Datasmith content. Here are some options to choose what we want to import and what we don't. As our walls didn't have any material in 3ds Max, we are going to uncheck it. We also don't have any lights, camera or animations in the Max file, so again not selecting either of these. Below we have some options for the 3D mesh. We can choose the minimum and maximum light map resolution that Unreal Engine will apply automatically on the assets. We can change this later if needed. Click Import. You can see that inside the content folder, we have our Datasmith folder. Deleting this folder that we created by mistake earlier. Inside the Datasmith folder, you can see a folder called Geometry, which contains the 3D meshes. And then an empty temp folder. And this is the Datasmith file. I will import the doors as well. We again get the same folders and the Datasmith file. As we don't have any material on our meshes, Unreal Engine has applied a default grid material to everything. Before proceeding, let's organize our scene a little. Let's create a folder for the lights. And one for the effects. Let's create a folder for the materials as well. And a basic white material for checking the artifacts. Right click and search for constant 3 vector and select it. The constant 3 vector expression outputs a 3 channel vector value, or in simple terms RGB value. We can also create it by pressing 3 on the keyboard and LMB on the mouse. Connect it to base color and set the color to little bit white. Save it. Let's select everything and apply this material. There are different ways to apply material. I can drag and drop the material on the material slot. Or I can click this little arrow right next to the material slot. And the selected material will be applied to the asset. For the glass objects, we are going to apply a glass material, so I am not selecting them. We will apply the white material to every slot. You must be thinking why we have 3 slots here. Well, because we had multi-submaterial on the doors with 3 submaterials. For the glass, I often use an asset from the marketplace to fasten the process. Advanced Glass Material Pack. Click on Add to Project and select your project. Go to Materials and then 01_clean and apply this glass material to the glass objects. We are now going to add light mass importance volume in the scene to cover the whole house. Scale it so it covers the entire house. Look from every angle so you do it right. The function of this volume is to concentrate better quality indirect lighting inside it, while the area outside the volume gets only 1 bounce of indirect lighting. We are now going to add another actor called post-process volume. If you are familiar with Photoshop, then this is going to be a breeze for you. Let's see how it works. Did you notice the change in the exposure? When I move out of the volume, the exposure again dials down. I go in, it increases again. So whenever I walk inside the post-process volume, the view will change according to the settings I have applied in it. We can scale it to cover the whole house. or we can go to Details panel and search for Infinite Extent Unbound and enable it. Now the post-process effects will be active even outside this volume. Moving it out of the way. Let's build our first light now and see how it looks. This button here will only build the lighting and not the reflections, while this button will build the lighting as well as the reflections. And this will only build the reflections. We can change the lighting quality from here. Preview is the fastest, but it's for draft purposes only. Medium gives better quality but also increases the build times. High will give us a much better quality, but the build time will increase by a lot. Try not to go above medium quality unless the lighting is near final. And then we have production, which takes the highest time for the light build. Try not to use it unless you want extremely high quality, because this will raise the build time by a lot. And then we have some settings in the word settings that also control the quality. We will see them later, but first let's do a build with the default settings. Let's move this to the effects folder. I'm going to disable bloom and auto exposure so we can set up our lighting without distraction. In real life, when we look from a bright area to a dark area, our eyes try to adjust to the low light. This also happens in Unreal, and we need to disable it for now to avoid any distractions. Let's set the minimum EV and maximum EV to same value to disable it. Enable metering mode and raise the exposure to 1. I will also reduce the AO effect as it is exaggerated right now. This here controls the AO strength. And this controls the spread of AO in centimeter. For my projects, I like to keep it below 8 and the strength below 0.5. Let's bring in some sunlight. I think it's enough. We can start the build now. The message log shows any errors that Unreal Engine finds in the scene. And in the bottom right, you can see the build progress. The build has finished. The scene is looking really dark right now. Let's talk about the world settings now. The indirect lighting bounce is set to 3 by default. It controls the number of bounces by the indirect lighting. And then we have skylight bounce, which controls the number of skylight bounces. So what happens is when the light comes in through the window, it strikes a surface, and after that it bounces back and scatters in every direction, and thus causing the indirect lighting. The sunlight is falling here and bouncing everywhere in the scene. We are going to raise the number of bounces to get brighter GI. Let's build again. This is Form Agent, which tells in detail about the progress of the build. You can use this color code at the bottom to see what's happening in the scene currently. These bars represent the number of cores in your CPU. Higher the core count, faster the build. The GI has gotten much better now. Some artifacts are still there, but we are still at low settings. Don't worry about this seam as the right part is mirror and not a wall. Again, don't worry about this seam as the right side has wooden flooring and the left concrete. Let's go ahead and see how the word settings affect the quality. Static lighting level scale changes the level scale for the light mask. Lower values increase the detail definition but may cause some noise. Let's try 0.5 and do a build. It has little to medium effect on the build time. Okay, so the build has finished and we can still see some artifacts. The detailing has improved, but some noise has also appeared. Let's change the static lighting level scale to 0.2 and do a build again. The build has finished. We are seeing more details but more noise and some patches as well. Don't worry, all of these artifacts will be gone soon. Let's see indirect lighting quality. This increases the number of rays for the final gathering and thereby lowering the noise in the indirect light. It has huge impact on build times, so tweak this carefully. Here is a tip. Try to keep the multiplication of static lighting level scale and indirect lighting quality to 1. For example, if the SLLS is set to 0.2, then set the ILQ to 5. And if SLLS is 0.5, set ILQ to 2. Let's do a build again. The lighting has improved, the dark patches have reduced a lot, and the noise is also less. We will try to reduce the noise by increasing the indirect lighting smoothness now. It reduces the noise that was brought in after tweaking the SLLS. Let's increase the bounces to 9 to brighten the GI more. You can see some people using crazy values here like 100, but anything above 10 does very little to the GI. Personally, I keep this between 7 and 10 for the most part. Let's build again. Okay, so we are back and the bake has finished. It already looks good, except some minor hiccups here and there. Let's lower down the smoothness and disable compressed light maps. Compressing the light maps saves the disk space but increases the chances of artifacts. Let's disable it and do a build again. Let me change the build quality to medium as well. Also change the SLLS to 0.5 and ILQ to 2 so the build doesn't take long. We are back again and the build has finished. Everything is looking much better and clean now. I think the light is a little bit less inside. Let's change the lighting intensity of the skylight. Let's keep the direct intensity to default and raise the indirect light intensity to 2. Indirect lighting intensity only changes the intensity for indirect light. Let's build again and see how the light changes. The build has finished. Let's wait a second until the image becomes clear. Now this looks much better. This door is looking way brighter for some reason. This one here too. Other doors are looking fine, by the way. AO is a little bit too much for my taste. I'm going to lower it a little. Nice. Okay, so in the next class we will look at a third-party plugin called GPU Light Mask. This plugin is going to allow us to make our builds faster and cleaner by utilizing the GPU. Stay tuned and see you later.